Hey everyone, I'm Bill. I'm with Cali Moto TV. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the garage where Fabio, the Aprilia, is finally getting some love from Bogna. And I hate to say Mr. S1000 might be leaving the stables because Bogna has absolutely fallen in love with this Aprilia. So much so that those are carbon fiber wheels by BST that are going on to the Aprilia. She ordered them last week and it's a done deal. So it looks like the Aprilia is sticking around. It looks like the BMW might be leaving. But today we're gonna go ahead and pull off these wheels. We're gonna get over to some effing motorcycle shop. They're gonna swap the tires for us, get them on the carbon wheels. Then we're gonna get back here. We're gonna weigh the wheels alone, see what the weight difference is between the cast wheels. These are not forged wheels. These are the cast wheels on the Tuono. So we're gonna have a huge weight savings. But we're gonna get everything mounted. Unfortunately, I did order a super light chain and sprocket kit, which isn't gonna be here in time. So we'll have to swap everything and then we'll change that later. So stay tuned for a super light chain and sprocket change on the Aprilia. But today is the carbon fiber wheels, and oh boy, just look at this. So, unlike the Ducati, we have opted to go with the gloss carbon fiber. If you guys don't already know, the Ducati has the BST wheels in matte carbon, and we've gone with the same Rapid Tech wheels, so the same design on the Aprilia. And so these Aprilia, these are basically cast wheels, so they're the heaviest of the bunch, and we were looking at going with some forged aluminums, but we decided if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right and go with the BST. So let's get the camera set up. We're going to pull the rear wheel off, we're going to pull the front wheel off. It's going to be a quick little kind of how-to, but then we're going to get over and get these things weighed, remounted, and see how these things look. And then, of course, we'll be out on a ride, so stay tuned. Of course, as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and ring that bell notification so you can see when all the Aprilia videos come out. So I guess let's get to work. All right, guys, so the rear wheel's pretty simple. It's not as simple as the Ducati, but what we're gonna do is you'll see you've got the chain adjusters. You're gonna need a 13 millimeter for the big nut here, and we're gonna crack that nut loose, basically, and once we get it loose, then we're gonna be able to reel it all the way in, so we're gonna do it on both sides. And then you've got your 10 millimeter, which then what we can do is crank in the adjusters. This is going to give us room enough to pull the rear chain off. So let's go ahead and get these both loosened and adjusted in, so when we take the rear axle nut off, basically we can just push the wheel forward, get the chain off, pull the wheel off. All right, so we basically have these up just far enough that we can slide it forward and get the chain off. Now we're going to be using our big Mamma Jamma socket. We've got a 32 for the rear axle nut. So we'll go ahead and break this loose. Ugh. That's on there. All right. And from here, it's pretty easy. You're just going to pop out the axle, and we're going to finagle. You're going to kind of see how I kind of hold the wheel. We're going to push it forward. So you can see we've got it forward now. We've got enough room to pull this chain off, I think. Pull the axle out, get the chain kind of set up here, and then wheel will come right off. So, and there's our wheel. So the major fuss is going to end up being this rear brake and how it hangs, because it hangs kind of from the bottom. We've got to obviously get that off. The trick is going to be when we get the wheels back on that we don't rub them and scratch the wheels up. So we got to be very careful with that. But let's move to the front, get the front wheel off, and then over to some effing motorcycle shop to do the tire change. All right, so the front wheel isn't that hard. We've got 4 pinch bolts. They're 10 millimeters on each side, which basically kind of hold the axle in with the axle nut. The axle nut is a 30 on the front. So what we want to first do is keep the pinch bolts tight. We want to break the axle nut loose Then we want to break the pinch bolts loose and then pull the axle out, and the tire should come straight out. We might, looks like we're going to have to remove the calipers. So let's get the calipers removed first, and then just to be safe, and then we'll get the front wheel off. All right, so the front calipers come off with an 8mm Allen socket, basically. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull them off. And I got these little bungees, and they're real nice because we can actually hang it right here on the blinker and hold these calipers up out of the wheel. So they're kind of out of our way. So let's go ahead and get these calipers removed. Now the calipers do have little spacers, so once you get them out, remember that the little spacers are in there. So you've got to pull the spacers out, one, but remember when you put it back in, the spacers have to go back in. So one bolt. All right, so we've got our bolt spacer. Go ahead and grab the caliper. Careful around the wheel, not to scratch the wheel. And go ahead and hang those there just like that. That way they're up out of the way, nice and secure. Let's head over to the other side and break that one loose. All right, so remember, axle nut first before the pinch bolt. So we're just gonna break it loose. And you should see pretty much just once it breaks loose, that was kind of quick. Then we can do our 10mm pinch bolts, and we're gonna just break them loose. They don't need to come out, they just need to be loose. And what's nice about Aprilia, they were nice enough to put 10 Newton meters on these bolts. Don't snap them off. So let's get these loose, get the axle out, pull the tire off, on our way. All right, so if you guys are using this reference as a tire removal, that's fine. We can do this. We're going to obviously reverse the process. Make sure you always take out your wheel spacer and leave it here. Don't take it with you because we don't want to get lost. So there's one on the ABS ring side, which is the right side of the bike. On the left side, there is no spacer. It actually butts right up to the fork, okay? Also, you want to be very careful. The ABS sensor is right here. On the other side, if you see my hand over here, not to, when you pull it out, not to break that thing. So when we get back, we're going to be removing the rotors and the ABS ring, putting them on the new BST wheels, and then getting them mounted. So let's get to the tire shop, get these things swapped, get them weighed. I'm excited to see how much these things weigh. Let's weigh them fully tired, everything just like this. Then we'll weigh just the rims. Actually, we can't do that. So how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? We can do it. We'll make it work. We're going to weigh them fully equipped. Then we're going to weigh them bare bone and see how much weight savings we're getting out of these wheels. All right, so we are here at Some Effin' Motorcycle Shop. Corey, Tony, thank you guys. Thank you. All right, so we're going to get some official weights on the wheels. The BST wheels, this is the front. We're going to weigh this with nothing on it as it comes out of the box, and we've got our official weigh scale. Now this weighs down to ounces, so we should get a very, very accurate reading. So 6 pounds, 2 ounces as it sits completely bare for the front wheel, and the rear wheel, and I'm pretty sure the Ducatis were about a pound lighter. I think because there's a lot less, there's more metal in this. Lighter than the front, wasn't it? Yeah, the rear was like, yeah, it was something dumb. So rear wheel, as it sits out of the box, 7.8, holy shit. 1.6 pounds. So 1.6 from the front to the rear. So that is the wheels as they sit, yeah. So now what we're going to do is we're going to weigh the wheels as they came off the Aprilia. These have the brakes and the ABS sensors in them. When we get back home, we'll obviously switch this back over. We'll re-weigh the wheels with the tires on and the brake rotors on the BST wheels, and then we'll weigh the rims on their own. But let's go ahead and weigh the front wheel. Holy shit. 24 pounds, 12 ounces for the front wheel with the tires and everything. And the rear wheel, Big Mama. So we've got the brake on this one. I left the sprocket at the house, but here we go. 30 pounds, 10 ounces. So we have a total weight of the wheels, 55.8 pounds for the wheels. So we're gonna get the tires busted off here on there. And I wanted to tell you guys about this product. I heard about this product some years ago and I never really tried it until Corey tried to put like 30 ounces of weights on my carbon fiber wheels, and I was like, absolutely not. All right, maybe like 3 ounces, but still, counteract. They are little beads that go inside the rim and tire, and they basically self-balance the wheels. I've got them now on the Ducati, and they seem to work great. I did a track day on them, and I've done street rides on them, and they seem to work really well. So we're gonna get these in there. So let's get to well, not let's us get to busting. Let's get Corey to busting tires, and we'll see how this weighs out when we get back home. Welcome back to the garage. We are back from Some Effin' Motorcycle Shop. Huge shout out to Corey and Tony. Thank you guys again for getting our carbon wheels mounted on the Aprilia tires. Bogna is super excited. So let's get you guys a total weigh in here. So the front carbon wheels were 6 raw, nothing on them, 6 pounds, 2 ounces for the front rim. And the rear was 7 pounds, 8 ounces. So a total combined rim weight of the carbon wheels with no accessories on it, no tires, a total of 14 pounds. The Aprilia wheels are 8 pounds, 12 ounces for the front and 14 pounds, 8 ounces for the rear. A total of 22 pounds, 9 ounces. So to break this down, the front carbon wheels, we're saving about 2.5 pounds. That is a 30% weight reduction in the front. The rear, 7-pound weight reduction on the rear rim, which is almost 50% less. So we have a total of 9 shedded pounds on the rims, and that's a 40% loss total weight mass moving on this Aprilia. Now, just to give you the other numbers, although the tires didn't change, the front tire weighs in at 22 pounds, the rear weighs in at 23 pounds. The Aprilia weighed in front 24 pounds, the rear weighed in at 30 pounds. All the math all stays the same. So the total weigh-in for the Aprilia was 46 pounds, and excuse me, as the carbon wheels, this is 46 pounds even, and the Aprilia rims were 55.8. So again, we saved 9 pounds and 40% weight reduction, mainly in the rear, but you know, 2.5 pounds in the front, that's kind of a lot of weight, especially when you got that rotating mass and that inertia move in and everything. So I'm I'm ready to get these things mounted. Bogna's been working on the bike. She's Bognaing out the bike, but we're basically just gonna do a quick reinstall. Again, this isn't really a DIY to take your wheels off, but if you watch it very carefully, you can see how I took it off. It goes back on all the same, and we're gonna get out on the road on Sunday. Bogna will give you guys her first opinion on the carbon wheels. I think there's gonna be a much bigger difference here than on the Ducati. The Ducati made a difference at high speeds, but I just think this is really gonna make a big difference. So let's get these things mounted, see what they look like, and then out on the road. All right, well, welcome back. We're a week later. We're so much later. We have bought a brand new bike in the time that the Aprilia has been sitting on there on the rear stand. And I don't even know where the video stopped. I don't know how much complaining I did in the video, but I'm gonna do a little teeny vent right now. So we bought these carbon fiber wheels from Brock's Performance. Brock's Performance is the one or two largest BST dealers in the United States. The biggest dealer in the United States. We called them, and the guy put the wheels in a cart for me and gave me a username and password for me to go and check out to make sure that we ordered the right wheels. And we got the wheels, and great. And what the guy at Brock's didn't tell us is that we needed a special sprocket that he didn't sell us for $70. A $4,000 set of wheels. And you couldn't A, include it, or at least tack it onto the bill? So, needless to say, I gotta give a huge shout out to Superlight Sprockets down in Southern California. I called them at the beginning of the week. It is Wednesday now. I called them on Monday and I says, I needed a chain of sprocket kit, 520. I need it for the BST wheels. And 2 days later, we have the sprocket that works for the BST wheels. So we are doing a full conversion, 520 conversion, stock toothing. So we're keeping with the 42 in the rear, and let's see, we got 42 in the rear and 15 in the front. So the Aprilia has been sitting here, like I said, MT-03. Oh, I love this bike. We already have some mods already on it. Jesus. Anyways, all right, Aprilia, I get it. Front wheel's been on, so we were able to get the front wheel on, and it looks amazing. But the rear wheel we're working on right now. So let's get the rear wheel mounted. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and head up and get the chain cut off and the sprocket on and everything. Actually, I might cut that chain off now while I can. And it'll make it a lot easier to get the wheel on. So let's get back to work on this Aprilia. All right, you guys, so as you can see, it was a whole lot easier getting that back wheel on without the chain. You don't have to fuss with the chain on the one side and the brake rotor on the other, which is typically the challenge, and to do it without scratching the rim is the bigger challenge. So we've got everything kind of buttoned up, everything's kind of tight, we're not torqued everything yet, but now we're gonna get it back up on the lift. We're gonna do the front sprocket exchange, then lay the chain, then we'll get everything torqued, and we got a ride that we're gonna go on tomorrow. So Let's get it up on the lift, get the chain on, the front sprocket, and then get a final look at these BST wheels because they look gorgeous. I'm really jealous about the gloss. They look really, really good. So let's get on the lift and get the chain on. All right, so we've got the front sprocket on, we've got the wheel on, we've got the chain on, and this is why we buy product from quality companies. Driven Systems, super light. Thank you so much for making my life a lot easier with sending me a chain with the exact amount of links needed. Absolutely no cutting needed. Voila, it's exactly perfect. So we'll get the rear link in, get the chain adjusted so it's a little bit loose still, get it adjusted, and then everything torqued down, and we are ready to ride, baby. All right, well, I will tell you guys this. Recently, you guys have been saying there's a lot of price differences between the Ducati and the Aprilia. Ducati's 23 plus some change. This thing is like 15, 16 and some change. I will tell you this. Working on this bike is so much harder because of how they're put together. The Ducati is just put together so much well. Like, if you guys have worked on a Ducati and you've worked on this, you'll understand. But it's just, this thing just kind of fights you every time it wants to work on it. The Ducati, that thing's a dream. The reason why I've done so much to that thing is it's so nice to work on. But finally figured out the spacers on the rear wheels. There's a certain spacer that goes in a certain direction, and of course the BST doesn't tell you which spacer goes where. It's like, here are 3 spacers, figure it out. So they had to go on a couple times before I figured it out. But they look absolutely gorgeous, so let's take a look at them. Kind of getting a little dark, so I apologize, but nice shiny carbon. Little bit jealous, but oh, and they spin so free. Of course, we opted to get the ceramic bearings, but you know, while we're here, let's get you a cold start on this thing because so we got the empty rear light. I've got to get that plugged in because we were just back from the track day. But also did a little upgrade on the headlights. Did some LED ultra slim bulbs in there. So just basically plug and play, nothing too major. And then of course, oh, huge shout out again to Driven Systems. Very, very nice. Blacked out sprocket. So we did do the 520 conversion, and everything is basically all stock tubing, but ooh, boy, you gotta love me some aero. I do it for you guys. So thanks for sticking around. Sorry this video was a little chopped together, and I apologize, but we're gonna get out on the ride with this thing, so stay tuned. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, ring the bell notification, because we do have some more stuff coming for this bike. But let's not forget, we got the little MT-03 right here, and parts are gonna start pouring in this week for this, so stay tuned. But thank you guys for sticking around for the Aprilia BST wheel install. A little bit tough, a little bit rough, but see you next video. Bye, guys.